I can be grilled, deep-fried, steamed, fermented, or eaten fresh. I'm served with vegetables, soup, rice, or sweet syrups. What am I? If you guessed tofu, you're you're correct. And you are a well-versed foodie. Now, tofu is a popular culinary ingredient, but that wasn't always the case. So what's the story behind this unique soy-based food? Can you guess how it became popular in North American culture? Was it because of the California gold rush? Did hippies advocate eating it? Or did meat shortages cause Westerners to turn to tofu? Stay tuned to find the answers and the origins of this versatile food. This is tofu. If you think tofu is a trendy, modern food, you're mistaken. It was created in ancient China about 2,000 years ago, and by accident, no less. According to legend, an unnamed Chinese cook combined soy milk with a seasoning called nigari, or magnesium chloride, a byproduct of evaporating seawater to make salt. This caused the soy milk to curdle. The liquid, or whey, was discarded, and the cook formed the curds into a solid shape, similar to making cheese. It soon became known throughout China as the poor man's cheese. The name tofu wasn't adopted until the 1400s. The food was introduced in Japan in the 18th century, where it was called okabe. According to Professor Miranda Brown, a cultural historian at the University of Michigan, tofu had a watershed moment in 17th century China. When elite Chinese officials deemed that tofu was a politically correct food, it transformed from a food for the poor to a food for everyone. Tofu became and remains a staple in many Asian cuisines. During the 19th century, there was an increase in Chinese and Japanese immigration to North America, and tofu came with them. But Americans thought soy and tofu were too foreign and unfamiliar, like many Asian products. Let's just say no one was racing to Whole Foods to buy a brick of tofu. Probably because there was no Whole Foods, but whatever. Enter the 1960s counterculture. You've likely heard stories or seen images of hippies in this era. This was a time of civil unrest as a controversial war raged in Vietnam and racial tensions boiled over. So the hippies created a new type of lifestyle that went against mainstream society. Because vegetarianism was a principle of the hippie lifestyle, hippies saw the value of tofu and advocated it as a non-violent and enlightened alternative to meat. Tofu was finally having its moment in North America. But its rise in popularity didn't stop there. In the year 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, tofu had another watershed moment in America. As reported by Inverse, meat shortages, panic buying, and an increase in home cooking and boredom inspired more American consumers to try tofu. Nasoya, a popular tofu brand in the U.S., saw a 40% increase in tofu sales throughout the pandemic. A company sales executive said it was the biggest sales spike Nasoya had ever experienced. The hippies didn't invent or discover the delicious, versatile creation we know as tofu. That honor belongs to China. But hippies did help it become a common grocery item in North America, and for that, we thank them. If you think this ancient food is interesting, maybe you should find out where edible gold came from. The answer may just surprise you. Sounds like you're going to need to watch another episode of Origins of Food.